Hello, my friends. It's Steven. I'm in Atlanta on a 30-hour layover, and it's about 1:30, 1:40 in the morning. We just got to the hotel a little while ago after a long day. It started yesterday about I think our show time was 11:19 yesterday morning. I am wiped out. But I'm wiped out, but I'm also wide awake. This has just been the longest day. And so I thought I'd take an opportunity to film a little video about something that I've been getting a lot of messages about and I've been talking a lot about. And it's something I don't see a lot or hear a lot of people talking about, especially on YouTube or on Facebook. It's that 10-year work history. I think every airline does a background check. My airline goes through a company called Sterling. So Sterling does all the background checks for us. So at my hiring event, we're in the middle of the day, in the middle of the event. And there was a period where most of the recruiters and staff kind of left the room. We were all handed a form that was a 10-year work history form. And we were asked to fill the form out. I think currently, new applicants are sent that form and can fill it out and bring it to the event with them ahead of time, which is really handy. My event, we were all kind of surprised. So when I got the form, I thought 10-year work history, no problem, no big whoop. I have my resume with me. My resume had my month and year of my start and finish date for my past employers, and it had a description of my my job and my successes and all those things, objectives. But I had month and year for each beginning end to end, and I thought that's my work history. Here you are. Nope, not at all. So the form wanted our 10-year work history. It also required our 10-year residential history. It also wanted our educational history. So the trick is, I don't remember really almost anything. If you asked me to tell you the street address for my high school 30 years ago, not happening. I knew it was on a particular street. I knew it was on Middle Spring. But I didn't know anything else. So thankfully, all the recruiters and stuff left the room. And that left all of us free to furtively jump into our cell phones and start Googling everything. And so we're all, madly filling out these forms. And then at the end of the day, when we had our conditional job offer and we had to go do our urine tests and our fingerprints and photographs and stuff, there were some people there in front of us that went over our 10-year work history to really look at it and see if it was complete. That form then went on to, so we got our CJO, we got our conditional job offer. And then a day or two later, we got an email saying, hey, congratulations, you're gonna be based in Las Vegas, Fort Lauderdale, wherever. That's when, between the CJO and this email, all of that information I put on that form went to this background check company. And they started doing the background check. They have these little investigators that, have to contact every employer, contact every landlord, contact every educational institution you've joined or been to. And I was not prepared for this. I thought my resume was enough. And I always hear 10-year work history. It doesn't say 10-year residential education, right? So why am I filming this video? Big tip. Make this easier on you. Do all this well ahead of time. If I had walked into my interview with my resume, with my cover letter, with my references, all the documents they wanted in hard copy and photocopies, if I had all of this stuff and my 10-year work history done, when they surprised us all with that form, I would have been the only person sitting pretty, relaxing, cool as a cucumber. And when someone from recruiting came in the room and they saw me sitting there like a princess waiting for my coronation or whatever, it would have looked good, right? Yeah, it would have been nice, but it didn't happen that way. So what happened is, I got phone calls and emails from Sterling saying, hi, we can't verify this. We can't verify that. They had a copy of my high school diploma. They know I graduated high school. So to graduate high school, you really have to attend high school, but they couldn't verify when I went to school. So they called my high school and they spoke to someone named Veronica. I remember the name Veronica. Who's named Veronica anymore? They called a woman named Veronica in the school office who did not remember. Veronica did not remember me graduating from that school. No wonder. I graduated in 1987. Why would she remember I was even there? She may not have even been born when I graduated high school. They also couldn't verify one of my employers. I had a job for like 3 months that I detested. I shouldn't say this. I walked out of that job. It was horrifying. Selling orthopedic shoes to like extreme diabetics in Florida. It was other. It was so bad. But this employer was not helping my background check. They were not saying anything about my employment history. So they really kind of were just spitefully being a mess. But Sterling kept contacting me saying, we can't verify this, we can't verify that. So if we can't verify all this information, we may have to have you, we may have to delay your training. We may have to have you go to a later training date. I didn't want that. I already knew enough that if I had a later training date, that was less seniority I was going to have. I already knew, being my age, things happen. They might decide that they hired too many people. They don't need any more. So whatever, I was very upset. So I turned into Magnum PI, an old TV show. I'm sorry, I have a little cold. I've been fighting a little cold for a couple weeks now. So I went and I really tried to get all the information I could. And finally, they were satisfied with my background check. There were people in my class who were getting phone calls and emails from Sterling 2 and 3 days before graduation. Yeah, so I don't even know if they could have graduated if their background check weren't complete by then. Everyone so far, to my knowledge, was cleared. But the stress, I can't even tell you how stressful it was. So what am I telling you to do? My suggestion, while you're going over your resume and you're tailoring your resume using keywords that would apply to an airline, start your own 10-year work history long before you have to. So write out every place you've worked for the past 10 years. If there's a space that you weren't working, or there's a period of time you cannot verify that you were, if you took a year off because you had a child, or if you took off 6 months because your parents are elderly and you needed to figure out how, whatever, have a good reason, have a little blurb or story as to why that period of time is unaccounted for. So write all that out. Google whatever you have to Google. Street address, phone numbers, if you remember your supervisor's names, anything, that information, write it all down for every place you've worked for 10 years. School, high school, write all of that information, mailing address, street address, everything, dates, everything. Dates, work history. For dates on my work history, there were some jobs, for some reason, I remember the day I started in a particular month of a year. But for the times I didn't, I used the 1st or the 15th day of the month, just because it just made things easy to have things line up properly. And that seemed to work fine for me. School. So for dates that you attended that school, if you got your diploma, great. I went to some college. I was an art major at a junior college in Rhode Island. I know it's kind of a joke, but that was my life. I didn't graduate, but I did go to school during these months, during these years. And I wrote that information down. Write down everything you can remember. And then go onto Google and look for more stuff. Residential history, that can be tricky for some people. You may have roommates that you live with that you absolutely hate, or that they hate you, or whatever. It might be an ex-boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. You may have been living with your parents, Write everything down. If for each place you've lived, write down if you had a landlord or there was a leasing office or a contact. If you live with your parents, a girlfriend, boyfriend, put their names, or a best friend, a roommate, put their names down as a landlord, put their contact information. So it sounds like a lot of work, and it kind of is. But trust me, if you do all of this, you'll be so far ahead of the game, and it'll just take a lot of stress out of your situation. But it's not over there. The biggest suggestion, and this is one that you're going to do or you won't, whatever. Once you've filled all this form out, you've written it out, so you can clearly either rewrite it or hand it to someone. So type it out. Call or email everyone on those lists. I mean it. Call every single one of them. That example I gave of high school, they contacted my high school because I gave them a phone number I found on the internet. Valerie answered the phone. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know how to verify my attendance. She was not the ideal contact information. So what I could have done, and I would do again in the future, is I would call the school. I would say to whomever answered the phone, "Hi, my name is Stephen. I attended this high school during these years. I am going for a job that requires a background check. They're going to be contacting the school to verify my attendance. What is the perfect contact? Who is the person they should contact? What is the best method to contact them? Phone number, email, whatever." Then do that for any colleges or prep schools or whatever, Do that for every place you've worked. Now, I'm not sure if I said already, I had this awful job selling orthopedic shoes. I walked out of it after less than 3 months. They were very spiteful and did not cooperate with Sterling. But I knew their contact information. So whatever, go back through all of your employers. Even if you quit the job, walked out of the job, they don't like you, you don't like them. Call them or email them if you don't want to talk to them and say, "Hi, I need the perfect contact information because I'm going for a wonderful job that requires a background check." They do it or they don't. You've done your part. For residential, I've had 2 apartments on my own by myself. That was, I had that leasing office information. That was helpful. But for things like roommates, living with your parents, ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, again, put down their phone numbers, call them or email them. Even if the relationship was not good and soured at the end, you don't want to talk to them, still reach out, do your best, and write or call and say, "Hi, I've got this opportunity for a fantastic job that is life-changing," spin it, and say, "I need just a contact information for my background check company. They're going to be contacting you to verify that I lived here during these periods of time." And do what you can, do your best. Get the most accurate information so that this background check company isn't calling you 2 days before graduation saying, "I'm sorry, we really can't allow you to graduate until you get this information," or "We can't allow you to move on to training until we verify all of your background history." So that is the meat of the suggestion I have for you. You're going to have to do a 10-year work history. Make it an effective, efficient history. Give this background check company everything they need to verify you ASAP. Get it done so that you can worry about memorizing schematics, city codes, your emergency drills. So you are left to freak out about stuff that you do have control over, you know, memorizing and things like that. So get it all done ASAP. Be proactive. And there you go. I'm going to do my best to take a bite to eat, watch some YouTube videos, and then try to sleep, because the breakfast here is amazing tomorrow morning. Our Atlanta hotel has a great breakfast. And then I think I'm going to take an Uber into Little Five Points and check out some little shops and stuff. I really can't spend money, but whatever. If this video was helpful, and I think it will be, honestly, I think this will really help people, give it a thumbs up. If you want, no pressure. Subscribe, because this is one nugget of many that I think I have to offer. And so subscribe, you'll be getting some more information to come. I've been pretty prolific with my videos. I'd like to think I can keep that going for a little while, because I really enjoy it. So certainly subscribe. Share this video. This is information I think would be hugely important for people. All these Facebook groups, feel free to share this video. Make a comment below. Share your experience with this 10-year work history. Was it stressful? Was it effective? Whatever. There you go. Thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I'm still stunned. I made a video recently about when I had like 80 subscribers, and now I've got like 105 or 107 just a couple of days later. And not that that's a big deal, and my goal isn't to like collect subscribers, but it is kind of weird that the things I have to say may have some value and may help some of you. So subscribe. That'd be nice. And I will talk to you later. All right. Have a good night. Fly safe. Bye.